Hello and welcome back to another episode of PSY-POD. This is the first time watching. This is a podcast about nothing from the Himalayas, where we bring local people to talk about local things and local vibes. Okay, we are just like a PE class where we all rush to the old basketball court to play futsal before Dzongkhalebi chases us away. This is the same vibe that we bring to this table. So anyways, before we begin, maybe we can have our guest today introduce who they are. So Acho, can you please introduce who you are and what you do to our local and global fans?
Well, hi guys. My name is Sonam Tashi. My friends call me Motz. Might know me as a basketball coach, but other than that, don't really have an identity at the moment, so I'll just say I'm Sonam Tashi, that's it.
Okay, all right. Okay, with that being said, click the intro music. PSY-POD starts now.
PSY-POD, PSY-POD, PSY-POD.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So guys, before we begin, let me just thank our lovely supporters, our members, our sub-podders, our pod heads who help keep the lights on in this podcast. So, Acho, please give me like 30 seconds, okay? So let's thank Deki, tttt, KP only here for PSY-POD, Lhazzzy, NoPay, Wangdi, Pema, Chuzek, drakpaaa, RINXIN, Ponder 69, Deki Tiga, 18 Jan, Chuksss, Phuntsho, Wangchen, TW Gyelmo, Choetsho, MrMeow, Lhakee, Ugin Tech, Arsenal, UCLS FC, not for long, okay? Ningtob NW, Leo, T.13K, Jimmy Samdrup, Deki Sing Palmo, Espelmo, Nematops, Jamangishe, Petso, Zambia, Chimi, D10Z, Chimi, Jintaka, Cases, Me, Kezawang Motashila Pems, Kizadem, That One Problem Guy, Ganyan Hub, Pema Paul, Tsogi, Chance Spike, Madness, Ultron Bhutan, Ocean, and Tashi Doji. Thank you. And also, thank you, DOMCIIP, for helping support this podcast with the mics that we see here. And yeah, let's get to it, Acho.
Right.
Hello.
Cheers. Hello.
Not cheers. It's bad luck to cheers the water, member.
Well, we can't drink here, so cheers with whatever we have.
Okay. So Acho's being a little modest, but I know Acho because he's been a sports figure, at least in my peripheral life. And Kashlonga, he's also a big supporter of Arsenal, so we'll talk about stuff like that. So if you guys are in for a sports episode, sorry toga, girlies and nerds, you can go back to your basement and dwell until your mom calls you for dinner. But Taringachi, we're going to talk about stuff like that. And also Acho also was in Perth for a long time. He has PR, so he's living the Australian Bhutanese dream, so we'll talk about that too. But before that, Acho, have you watched any of the episodes before? Podcast
Yes, I did. Not full, but I've watched like a few, to a certain length.
No. Which ones have you seen?
I've seen your latest one with
Rekita?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I've seen quite a few. I can't remember the guests now. I mean, it's been a while, but
Okay.
yeah. But I must say this, not because I'm on the show right now, but I feel like for me at least, can't say about others, but for me at least, I feel like this is one of the most entertaining shows done by a private individual.
Thanks, Acho. Why do you say so? What makes me stand up from the crowd?
Well, first of all, you're an Arsenal fan. No, we don't have much Arsenal fans in Bhutan, so that will be
few and the proud more.
Yeah, come on, you Gunners. We need some more of Arsenal fans these days. It's very being an Arsenal fan is like a roller coaster, right? You have your highs and lows. I mean, mostly lows at this.
But that anyway, Arsenal's Acho, since being Arsenal fan for so long, you can predict the downfall exactly when it's about to happen. So it's always April time, and
somehow we get a lot of injuries then, and then
something will happen, either mentality change up or injuries.
I had big hopes for this season, but then when Saka got injured, then I was like, forget it.
Oh, Simo.
Yeah.
But even after Saka was gone, we were still contending. Then striker Mipiasi. Then the opponent started playing more defensive, and they knew because striker Mindumen.
But still, when Arteta put Marino as the striker, he was still scoring. So I thought maybe a little bit of hope. But when Saka went, I was like, done deal. No more.
But he's back, so let's see. Tonight's the Champions League.
Tonight, yes, everyone.
Okay, this will air much later, but let's see. Are we? Or we'll find out.
I hope.
Hopefully, is this?
Hopefully. Yeah, I plan. I promise to do another episode if Arsenal wins.
Okay. So for all the people who don't know what the history behind Arsenal is, Acho, can you give us a little history of what actually Arsenal, what do you call, why is it a joke and why people like, it's hard for people to support Arsenal? Can you give maybe the audience a little
I supported Arsenal at a very young age. For me, the main reason behind supporting Arsenal was, it's the same reason like you, Thierry Henry, Dennis Bergkamp, and David Seaman, the goalkeeper. So they were the main reasons for me. And my family members, we have 4 brothers. So except for one, all other three support Arsenal. So it's been from the family. So big Arsenal fan, and I got to see the invincible season where Arsenal went unbeaten. The 2003-04 season, and that was one moment I think Arsenal fans will never forget. But ever since then, Arsenal's been on a downfall, and the most heartbreaking as an Arsenal fan was when Thierry Henry left for Barcelona. So that was a big heartbreak for me. The next heartbreak came when Fabregas went.
Oh, really?
So that was because I felt like he would be the next torchbearer for Arsenal. But when he left, it was a big blow for me. So I think after that, Arsenal just kept, falling down, and big setback for Arsenal fans. But true fans, you know that he or her is a big true fan for that club. When even during those bad times, you still support the club. So I've been supporting Arsenal ever since. Still support them.
Yeah, that's true.
I hope to see another season where we'll lift the cup.
Yeah.
Not sure when, but hopefully soon.
I think now the rise is coming back. The rise from the fall is starting. So just to give another more context, girls, do you know how we say like MBTI get you more, star sign get you more, and you want to understand about your man's maybe psychology more. Ask them which team they support. So if they support, let's say Chelsea more, money minded, fancy, it's style but if they're not doing well, so that's Chelsea type. And then if you have Man U, it means come here. Glory. Come. They think they're the shit. No. Okay, now if you know a Man U fan from Himalaya, and right now they're like, I understand me more. Then come to your ego, you'll drop this guy, okay? But if he says, I know they suck right now, him a jigs day, then it's fine, which means he'll stay with you whether your rise and your fall. That's the difference between the Man U fans who are still supporting today, because right now Man U is in the shit. So that's for Man U fans. Now if you're a Man City fan, which means Chimo, next girl, hot thing that comes more, he'll go, okay? Loyal that person will go. And then most likely more, that guy has zero ball knowledge, okay? If he's a Man City fan, 100%. Now if you're a Real Madrid fan, again, only stylish, won't look at normal girls, only thinks about driving Prado and up. Anything below Prado, he's not looking at you, okay? Barcelona fan also, we'll just talk about Messi. So you'll just, it's like saying like, if your man has only one good quality, he'll only focus on that. He'll forget about all the other rest bad qualities, but only focus on that one good quality and repeatedly shove it down your throat. So that's Barcelona. But Arsenal man is a loyal man, okay? He's a loyal man. He's been through the shit. He's been through pain and suffering his whole life, but he still continues to support. So you find yourself an Arsenal fan, and you find yourself a Tottenham fan more than Mashi. Then you go get yourself checked in the mental hospital.
Exactly.
Okay, because first of all, Sakaramisi and the Rukechong. So I don't know why you will be a Tottenham supporter, but I still respect to a certain degree Tottenham supporters, because they know they've been through it worse in Bade, especially Bhutanese. How do you become a Tottenham fan? It's like, I appreciate you that you were willingly, being a Tottenham fan. But Man U fans, you can enjoy all the suffering, man. So enjoy all of it. I don't care. They deserve it also.
Yeah, because I think with Man U, because most of my friends are all Man U fans. When Arsenal was going through that downfall, Man U was having their best seasons under Sir Alex Ferguson. So they would always, we had this habit of tagging, because at that time Facebook just came. So the habit of tagging each other on your Facebook page and saying "eat" whenever Arsenal lost. So I had a lot of my friends writing "eat" on my Facebook page and tagging me and saying, "Shimchiga," and how was it? Tasty, eat, all those stuff. So I'm very happy these days that I can at least write back to all those comments.
For context, in 2012, Arsenal lost 8-2 to Man U.
Exactly.
And Man U fans never let us forget. And I cried. I said, stop it! We're already dead, stop it!
I had to turn off my TV after the 5th goal because as a fan, I could not watch it anymore.
But in Man U aspect, if you watch it now as a neutral, it was a masterclass.
Yeah.
Rooney ki free kick to me, Ashley Young ki free kick to me, Nani ki chipped the keeper.
I mean,
it's great goals there.
I didn't like Man U. I won't say hate because I only hate Tottenham as an Arsenal fan. So I didn't like Man U, but my God, whenever Rooney was on the team list, I would always get scared because Rooney was one player who could play every single positions. He was. I mean, everyone were talking about Ronaldo. But for me, it was Rooney. Rooney was unbelievable. Rooney was on another level.
Rooney. The player I hated playing against was Drogba. Drogba would always score. Always find a way to score.
Drogba was like Roy of Man U. Will always be in that sweet spot where he'll get to score. So Roy, if you see his games, a lot of his goals are those rebound goals because he's always present. So he was very good at that. But for me, Rooney, I don't think anyone EPL at that time would be even close to Rooney. Not even Ronaldo.
But then he just seemed fat, man.
Yeah, now he's
actually
big.
Fat. But before
I won't call fat because I am fat myself.
You won't use that
big.
word. Okay, big boy.
I would like to call it big.
But Rooney, he had some aura.
He was.
He had aura.
He was on a different level back then. Under Sir Alex Ferguson, he was on a different level.
But Ferguson players to guys, especially now, Fletcher, Carrick. But they just figured out how to win.
I think it's all about leadership again. You have good leaders, you will win the war. No matter how good your army is, if you don't have a good leader, you will lose it.
They had a good leadership team also.
So I mean, we had a very good leader also as Arsene Wenger. But the problem with Arsene Wenger was he didn't get the support from his bosses, the owners and stuff. So that's when the downfall happened. And then our new stadium, all the money went into that new stadium. So,
but still qualifying for Champions League, every year.
I mean, if you look at our roster, then if you look at the players we had, it was like a B team players.
No, but it's the streets won't forget team match. The thing was, we didn't have the missing piece, and then every team from whether it be City or the Barcelona or the Man U, whatever piece that we had was their missing piece. They took them more. Nasri, Van Persie, Fabregas.
If you got back the same missing piece that we wanted, it would have been balanced. No? But we got all those players who they didn't want and they were getting old. Like one of the worst buys I think Arsenal made was
Sylvester.
What was it?
Mustafi.
Yeah, Mustafi. Oh. He was horrible, man. How many own goals he gave?
Those are the dark ages. I stopped watching football from 17 till 20. 3 years, because there was no point. Dark ages.
He was one of the worst buys. And then Nicolas Pepe was one of the worst buys.
Nico Pepe. Oh.
He didn't even play a full season. He was injured almost all the time.
Okay.
So, I mean...
Chapters up, sir? Oh shit, sorry. I didn't make chapters. Anyways, till now we'll just keep it from there, okay? Untimed Tatova. What was it? Nico Pepe actually on paper, when you compare to Anthony, Jadon Sancho, wasn't that bad. Because they paid less and he delivered more than these two. But then again, Man U they've lost some aura of women because Ferguson is gone. Yeah. Obviously, Ferguson is gone, we can get that. But still, they have the money. Yeah. They've been employing all top managers. So what do you think is wrong with Man U, Mappa?
I guess because I'm a coach myself, I'll bring it back to leadership again.
Okay.
I think Man U didn't have ever since Ferguson left. I don't think they had a good manager to handle at least handle that. Under Mourinho, they were playing I think quite well.
Second hit you on. So.
Yeah, so they were playing quite well. But then when he left, again the downfall happened. Oh. I think after Mourinho left, they never reach the top 4, I think. I'm not sure whether I'm wrong.
He'd be where? Van Hal. No, Van Hal. What's his name now? Chettri.
No, but
What's his name now? Last manager before MrMeow.
see, this is how you know we're not a Man U fan, because we don't even know the manager's name.
How can we? I've been trolling him for the past years.
I don't know, so.
You don't know the Man U manager?
No, I mean, I remember his face. I don't know his name, because I don't watch their games anyway. So.
Man, I feel like it's on the tip of my tongue. Man U manager, bald name.
I've just written last manager.
Last manager. All they're showing is Ferguson. Is just city page. Manager history. That should give me a sec. My God, so they're giving me a whole article. Ten Hag. Ten Hag time that they reached top 4, and then Champions League group stage thing about it.
Yeah. So.
And he refused to. And I think his managing was not that bad. It's just that every time he came on press conference, he would not own up to his mistakes and his fuck-ups.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Leaders should also have the courage and thing to accept his own mistakes. No? But I think he was very stubborn with his decisions, and he would, I guess, not listen to his players. And that's when all the problems with him and Ronaldo happened, and a few of his players, Anthony. Yeah, so those type of problems happen. So that's when the players get demotivated, no? And then it's not the manager who plays on the field; it's the players who play on the field.
Okay.
And if you have a bunch of players who are not motivated, no point, man.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Acho, this season Gyelmo Champions League. The Premier League shoutout. The Premier League is almost done and dusted. Liverpool, congrats.
Yeah.
Next season.
I mean, we still have a chance, provided they lose
they
all
lost
the games.
this weekend. They lost this weekend.
Yeah, so
they're losing form.
So provided they lose all the games.
But they're losing form in the right times. Where they got a nice, comfortable lead. Arsenal this team, we lose form in the wrong times.
I mean, but we should have won the last game, man.
And match
you didn't.
Acho, can you speak within just for the crispiness of the audio? One draw but now I'm like, what's the point of watching the league? Because it's almost.
No, but still, man. I mean, as long as we still have a chance, I guess we'll still
12-point lead in
11.
11-point lead.
Yeah, so it could have been 9, but then we held to a draw. So, yeah.
But now 8 games left. 7 games left.
About that much.
7 games left. 7 games left. 7 into 3 is 21 points. So they need to lose half the games.
Yeah.
They need to lose half, and we make sure we win all our games.
Yeah.
Mathematically, yes. Mathematically.
Yeah, but I don't think. I mean, I don't think it'll happen. But
won't happen.
As Arsenal fans,
we can
being very positive, like always.
I know we can always stay positive. Okay,
but in terms of Champions League, I don't know.
Let's do brackets. Okay, right now Arsenal, the Real Madrid, okay. Let's do PSG and Villa. PSG more.
Yeah.
Who knows? You could think Emery could pull it out of his ass. He has the capability.
But PSG.
PSG. Okay, then we have who else? We have the brackets. I think we have
Bayern Munich against
Barcelona. No sir.
I think Bayern Munich against Inter.
Bayern Munich Inter. Who?
I feel like. I mean.
Bayern Inter. I mean,
Harry Kane is having a very good season, so I'm probably thinking. I mean, I want to go with Inter, but
I think
my back of my mind is telling me that Bayern Munich might win it.
No, I think Inter, very good defensive team.
No, but everyone thought that Leverkusen will win from Bayern Munich, but Bayern Munich won with, very thing with a lot of goal difference. So
okay,
I feel that there might be a setback, and Bayern Munich might pull something out.
Okay, I say Inter because I like their setup. It's very interesting. 3 centre backs, but they move forward.
Yeah.
Midfielders, so I'll say
Inter is playing very good football. Sorry, not basketball.
Not bad. Football is not bad. Okay, Barcelona, Dortmund.
Barcelona.
Okay, all right. Arsenal, Real Madrid.
Heart says Arsenal, brain says Real Madrid.
So what's the answer then? What do you think? Neutral. Objectively.
I hope Arsenal, man.
Okay, so Arsenal, PSG.
Arsenal.
Okay, Bayern, Barca. Barca, Arsenal. Oh, that's a horrible final. That's a horrible matchup. That'll be worse, man. Actually, imagine we go to the final, then Barcelona get Chimo, then thrashing, then mountains.
No, but just watching Arsenal reach the final would be enough for me.
No. If you want to lose now. I don't want to see the final and lose.
Man.
It'll crush
Reach
me.
the finals and lose
It'll
it.
crush me. Too much, you know. And sometimes you get a little bit psychojomus because you've been Arsenal supporter your whole life, and when you see them fail, you say, "Is this a reflection of my own life?" You know.
That's, I guess, the beauty behind being a sports fan or a athlete. You have you're about to reach your goal and you have a setback. So injuries and stuff like that. So that's when your emotions gets played with. So that's the most exciting part of being into sports.
Okay.
I hope everyone is into sports also who's watching.
Okay. So actually, let's go back to your own personal story there. Actually, you've been playing basketball since your younger days with the legendary team Wizards. The injured more. So forget about that. So let's just talk about how it all started there. Because at least for people who don't know, Acho's team Wizards is one of the most prominent teams in Bhutan basketball history. At least in my eyes, along with other teams, of course. But at least they were known to be like this group of brothers who won the whole thing, underdog stories at one point, but then it became like you guys became Real Madrid at one point. At one point, Real Madrid is 1 point Arsenal, 1 point Real Madrid. So that's a good analogy. So let's hear the story for at least the ballers out there.
Well, like I said before, my whole family is a basketball fan. My Acho played for the national team. My Nuchu played for the national team. I was a national coach, so I think basketball it's in our DNA. So played from a very young age. All the injuries in my body at the moment, starting from my head all the way till my toe, is because of the game of basketball. But no complaints. It's always been my first love. Wizards, I was not the founding members for Wizards. I played with my own bunch of friends before. Spirits.
Yeah, okay.
So it was a group of friends, my own classmates and very close friends who always play at the swimming pool court. Back then, we only had to pay like 10 or 20 ngultram. And then you get to play for the whole day. So we would, as soon as we eat breakfast, every weekend, we'll just pack our bags with extra shoes and one extra shirt, towel, and then head to a swimming pool.
Play next. Yeah.
And then we'll ask for our mom for like 50, maximum of $100, which was like 2,000, 3,000 at the moment, if you calculate thing.
Shit, okay, inflation.
So yeah, for $100 we'll get like 10 plates of momos. So it was like only 10 ngultram back then for one plate. So yeah, we would take that much money, we'd eat lunch from anywhere possible, and then we'd just stay at the court the whole day, playing next. It was 7 basket game. If it was too many teams, then we'll play 5 basket game. And then next.
So Nazira, they should allow that no more. Were there a lot of people coming to play?
Yeah.
After next,
after next, we'll also be there. And we had, back in our time when we started our basketball, we had teams. We had a team called Zombies. They would sleep at the court itself only.
Mama.
So during tournaments, they would play throughout the night and then sleep inside the court. And then they'll take their own sleeping bags.
Why?
Sleep
They have no place to crash.
No, they had, but I mean, it just shows the level of love for the game. No? Back then, we used to take tournaments very seriously. And you were just talking to me before we started the show about Coronation Cup.
Yeah.
Back then, you win Coronation Cup, you're on the map. You're at the top.
At least,
for the next 1 year at least. And then everyone wanted to win that tournament. So people, back in our time, people used to take tournaments very seriously. Not like today where kids are, showing up 10 minutes late to the game.
We'll rant later, Acho. Let's go back to your story.
Anyways, so we had teams like that sleeping at the court, practicing throughout the night and stuff like that. So that's when I started. A bunch of friends formed a team and said we'll play our first Coronation Cup. And back then, teams they needed an entry song too, so they would play an entry song.
It was more cool, yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, nice.
So we would, our team had that Bulls entry song. So we would enter with that song, and then it was. I don't think tournaments like that can happen now because we didn't have space for audience to sit also.
Yala maina.
It was that packed.
Okay.
And then, we would have people outside, and they would request if we could put a projector outside so that they can watch.
Mama, peak
But
basketball.
now we request people to come in. We'll give you money instead of you giving us money. The federation was even charging entry fee
At one point,
for finals.
Oh, nice.
And people will still pay that entry fee, and then it'll be like beyond the capacity, and then. But now you have to beg people to come watch the games.
Okay. No, let's just stick back to the past and we'll go to the modern right now. So let's talk about peak then. So tournaments, this is Spirit's time or Wizards time?
So Spirit's time. So
like how was like also like other teams there more when you used to play the game? Was it friendly?
So when
or
we
was
started
game started rough? Forget the friendship.
Yeah, when we started off tournament, I mean, outside the tournament, outside the court, all of us were friendly friends and stuff. But inside the court, once the game started, very competitive. We won't talk much. Game plans, stick to the game plan. I mean, we didn't know much about basketball then because basketball was just growing. Our time, I think the main teams to watch back then was Sharks, Dutch Eagles team.
Okay.
And then we had Mirage. We have Rams.
Okay.
We have Astros. We had Warthogs. And we have Jettas.
Okay, those teams are all gone now.
Yeah. So those were the teams to watch back then.
Who was the big star at this Acho when you were growing up? Dutch Jigel.
Sharks like Dutch Jigel, Dutch Jimmy Namgil, Amigos. Dutch Jimmy Namgil's team, Amigos, I completely forgot about that. Amigos were a team to watch. So a player, I would say, Mirage. There was a player named Outsender. He was the first player we saw in Bhutan who dunked.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he dunked.
How tall was he?
And then the worst thing was he dunked during the game against us.
Fast break or on opposite?
Yeah, so they were winning by a lot of points. We were a new team. We just started. They were winning tournaments. So it was a big. It was a thrashing. The game was they were thrashing us. So at the end, I think he got the ball on the fast break and just dunked on us. So yeah,
was he tall?
Yeah, he's tall. I think 6 something. I forgot the exact height, but he was tall.
Good jump.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he dunked on us. I don't think we can ever forget that.
So those were the players in there.
But in our team, I think the best player for my team Spirits was one of my friends called Pema Gelson.
Okay.
So he was very good. He was good.
So what kind of basketball were you playing back in the day? Of course, there now is the 3 ball. More 3 balls.
Yeah, back then it was more of inside than outside. Because I think back then we didn't really have Steph Curry didn't exist then.
Shaq
so it was Shaq, Hakeem. All those David Robinson, all those big guys. And even back then, I think even the guards were posting up. Like Jordan used to post up all the time.
Yeah,
so, Barkley used to post up all the time.
Barkley was like a hybrid note.
Yeah, so I think we were more into passing it inside and then dishing it outside.
Okay.
But now the new age basketball is dish it outside. You can't do anything, then you dish it inside. Which is very boring to watch. Because the ball movement is not there, so it's just I feel like defenders it'll be very easy for the defenders to defend now because
just cover the
corners because all the guys are outside. None of the guys are playing inside physical basketball. So I don't go watch the tournaments these days much. So
what about the art of the 3 there? Step back, half court, tap.
I mean, it looks good. It's a highlight material, but the thing with our kids, and then I'm saying our kids, Bhutanese youth, is they see Steph Curry do all those
and think they can do it themselves.
Yeah, I mean they do it also. Some kids do it, but then the thing is they don't see the hard work Steph Curry put behind the scene, behind all the practice he does. So if our kids do the same practice and then they're chucking those threes, I don't mind that.
Okay.
But no practice, half an hour before the game you show up.
Then chuck like 15 threes in the game time.
Yeah, exactly. You don't play for months and suddenly there's a tournament happening and then you play for 1 week and then you start chucking threes all over. as soon as you cross the half court, you chuck threes. Not fun to watch, man.
Yeah. But I have not also gone and watched some tournaments these days. But so actually, let's talk about the Wizards' heyday. So when did you all the brothers combine and say Shada team?
Yeah, so Wizards started like us with they started as a bunch of friends. They started and they recruited my two brothers, my two elder brothers, into the team, and they played the tournament. And I think Wizards were the only team who got suspended for a year also.
Yeah, Jasu.
They misbehaved during one of the finals, and they got suspended for a year.
Oh.
But it was not that bad because when they got suspended, I think most of them went out for college, so didn't make much of a difference. But when they came back from college and they started playing again, that's when I joined Wizards.
Yeah, okay.
And great days playing basketball with them. A bunch of players who just loved the game, played the right way of basketball. Team first, you second. That's the type of mentality you want in the team. It's always about the team first. I think as long as you think about the team first and you care about winning, I think everything else falls into their own part, and then good things happen. So 2000, we won a lot of tournaments, but I think one year that specifically stays on my mind. I'm not too sure about the year. I think it was 2013 or 14. I'm not too sure, but I think there was about 6 tournaments that happened in Thimphu that year.
He's my 1 point peak.
Yeah, so
Queen's Cup, King's Cup, Gyelmo Cup, all the royal families can go.
So I think they will have, 5 or 6 tournaments happened that year. And Wizards won all the 6 or 5 tournaments that happened that year. So that was our most win in one season year. I think we had a clean sweep that year.
So that year, peak number, what do you think stood apart from the other teams? What do you guys think you guys had?
Like, we were playing every single day.
Oh, damn.
We were playing every single day. And I think...
Did you run plays or you just play
No, we run plays as in... We weren't playing exactly organized basketball, but we had few things that we told each other that we'll try to do this. Like, for example, we wanted to go... Our first goal was to play inside, and then if nothing happened inside, then the ball would go outside. And then we had a very good
option. A was inside ball.
So we had a very good player in my younger brother Rinche. So we would always make sure that we pass it to him first. And in Bhutan, because you play your basketball yourself, you know that the most popular defense we play is zone. And zone defense, if you can give the ball inside, zone defense will go small. Yeah. And then once the defense goes small, it's very easy to pass it outside because they'll have a very clear open shot. So I think we stuck to that, and that helped a lot. And then obviously on defense, communicating every single time. So we would be, talking to each other every single time. Cutters, rebounders, box out. So we did all the right things, and I guess, and also luck sometimes plays a important part. So sometimes we got lucky. So we won all the tournaments that year, and we also were the first team to win the first A-League. 2013.
That was the first one.
Yeah,
so recent one when you think about it. 2013,
that's like 12 years ago.
12 years ago, first A-League in Bhutan. But then again, 12 years was a damn, not that recent also.
So we played at the YDF court that was newly built that time.
Oh, yeah.
So we had the finals up there. We played against PODHEADS, I think. So that was the first one. But then nothing happened in 2014, I think. And then 2015, we had another A-League. But that was the time when Pepsi sponsored the A-League. So they called it the Pepsi A-League. And so they started counting A-League only from then. So our first A-League, they didn't recognize it. So that was a bummer.
Okay, so
But I still have the certificate for it though.
which you can use for what? For applying for a job.
No, back then when we applied for jobs also we had to give in all the certificates. No?
Yeah.
So I had a bunch of certificates, but didn't matter. I didn't get any jobs.
How would our law firm be utilizing your basketball winning
So, yeah.
How was the prize money then? Was it still same now?
No. Prize money now is much more better than what we used to
No,
get.
that's
We used-
enough to me 1 lakh.
I mean, much, yeah, 1 lakh, but our time was like, we started off with 30-20,
Yeah, but the inflation.
40-20, yeah. Yeah,
Inflation,
but if you talk about inflation, yes, then. Yeah.
What would you guys do with the winnings? Like, let's say the 60 and the more.
We were a bunch of people who loved to eat, so we would always finish like 70-80% of the money on Zabe, and then we'll keep 10% for the next entry fee, and then maybe 10% to buy a jersey, I guess. But mostly eating.
Okay, let's say today you win the final. How does the final day celebration look like?
I don't think there'll be much excitement like before, man.
But no, let's say more in the heyday. How does that look like? Okay, let's say 2014 more. AD,
You know, we used to get those big
Coordination Cup
trophies, right?
Oh,
So what people used to do is we would fill that cup with cha, and then everyone will take a straw and then sip out of it, and then after you get a little drunk, then you'll throw the straw away and then start chucking. I mean, having.
Then go to the club in uniforms.
Yeah, and go to the clubs in your uniform, all sweaty and smelly and.
But that'll be enough to pull.
Yeah, and then some back in the days also it was a big craze about going in your car with your trophy hanging outside and screaming. Yeah, exactly, screaming like.
But then been
Nah, but back then even at schools when we used school tournaments,
I remember.
we used to go in the school bus with the school flags waving.
At least.
Yeah. And then say like Pellinduba or YHS. If it was YHS, then YHS. Oh. So those were the victory drives we used to do before.
Okay.
But now they straight away get drunk, I guess.
Okay, actually, how did you transition from being a coach?
Oh yeah, so while playing, I had an injury. I fell on my back and I got slip discs. So that's when I couldn't play much because I couldn't stand only. So that's when Coach Kim, the present coach from Korea, came to Bhutan, and then he started coaching the national team. He started giving trainings to the youth, and then also started giving training lessons to the promising coaches and referees. So that's when I joined his coaching lessons, trainings. And from there, I became a volunteer coach.
Okay.
So no pay and nothing. Just as a hobby on the side, became a volunteer coach. Would always assist him during summer, winter breaks for school kids coaching. And from there, in between, he left for Korea once. I think for a year or two. And that's when I got the opportunity to coach the women's national team.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was my first break.
Okay.
Because before that, I went to Qatar for a month because of BOC. BOC gave me the opportunity to go to Qatar and to learn the 3-on-3 FIBA basketball
Rules, yeah.
rules, and as well as it was a youth camp. So I took two youths, one boy and one girl, aspiring very good basketball players. You must be knowing them. One, the boy was Tempa.
Oh,
Tempa, and the girl was Yankee. KP's sister.
Yeah.
So I took both of them to Qatar for a month, and then we had a youth camp. But at the youth camp, they were also teaching us about 3-on-3 because 3-on-3 now is gaining a lot of popularity.
3x3 more.
Yeah, exactly, FIBA, and then Olympics has also recognized 3-on-3 as a Olympic game.
Yeah.
So
actually, I think it's
part of,
it's better, easier to train.
Yeah,
also.
so it's very easy. 10 minutes game. It's like a party because music would be playing. There'll be a DJ playing. And then you have two referees. It's a half court.
They did 3x3 tournaments in
Yeah,
Yeah. They tried to promote.
My Acho and his team won that tournament.
Oh, okay.
And then we had another tournament, 3x3 in swimming pool also. So, yeah.
That didn't catch on more.
I mean, our guys are more into 5-on-5. 3-on-3 is very fast. Very tiring. You won't even get, full basketball game is 40 minutes. 3-on-3 is only 10 minutes, but 3-on-3 will be double time. You'll get more tired. It's more tiring, yeah. So, because you're running for 10 minutes throughout the 10 minutes, you're running. There's no break.
Game is to 21 in.
Yeah. Or it's 10 minutes.
Or 21.
Or whichever team scores 21. So whichever is first. It's either 10 minutes or 21.
Okay.
So that's the game.
Then there's no
and then 4
10
players.
minutes continuous in no quarter, no break.
So you can take a timeout.
Okay.
You get a timeout, and that's it. Other than that, no. So there's no coaches also. The coach is not allowed to sit with the players.
What? Then what's the point of coach there?
I mean, coach can only coach till the main. Yeah, no.
Coach who does the subs? The players.
The players have to do it themselves.
Oh, then coach came into them.
So, but a coach gets to travel. No, but coach's job is to coach until the game. And then on the game, coaches are not allowed to sit even next to the players.
Yeah.
So they have to sit with the audience on the side.
Okay.
If the referee sees the coach with the players, that's
you can see in the sidelines and give you
signs. On the sidelines, you can say whatever you want. You can show signs or you can scream at them or whatever. But if they see you standing behind the players, that's a direct tech. So you get a technical foul for that. So if there's 4 players, 3 will play the game, 1 will be on the bench. So basically the guy on the bench will be doing all the
coaching,
yeah. So you have to make sure in 3-on-3 that the coach has to make sure that all of them knows the game plan before, because the coach can't be screaming all the time. So that's but 3-on-3 is very exciting. Very exciting.
But it's fun to watch.
And then for us also, because we don't have tall players in Bhutan,
we just need conditioning,
which is it's very I think India wins most of the South Asian countries tournament because half of their team are like 7 foot tall, and then we lose most of the times because we don't have much tall players. I think the last tournament we won
India wasn't
nations.
allowed. India wasn't allowed.
Yeah, so 5 nations we won was because we had some tall players in our team also. We had like 3 or 4 6-foot players, 4 plus players. So that was a good team. But most of the time, Bhutan will always have like 1 6-foot player, and then rest will be like 5 foot something.
Okay.
So that was always the disadvantage. But when 3-on-3, it's not about the height. It's all about the conditioning. Because if you have the conditioning, any team can win 3-on-3 tournaments. So you see teams like
Serbia.
All those Nepal plays very good 3-on-3 basketball. Nepal plays very good 3-on-3 basketball. Mongolia is a team which plays very good 3-on-3 basketball. Thailand has a very good 3-on-3 basketball team. Qatar and all, obviously they have taller players, so they're good. So 3-on-3 is a platform where I feel like Bhutanese basketball team can do very well. But somehow it's not gaining the popularity.
Popularity. I mean, NBA is losing a lot of popularity these days.
Yeah, but the NBA also, the 3-on-3 is all the players who have retired from NBA, they're playing those 3-on-3 tournaments, which Ice Cube.
Yeah,
the Big Three.
Yeah, they are 4-pointer.
So they play those. So 3-on-3 is very exciting. It's just that we have to. We need to, tell the kids these days that, show them how fun it is.
Yeah. I feel like now attention span is getting smaller. If the game gets 10 minutes, they're like, that's 10 minutes.
Yeah, but it's so much fun. You should be you should go for a 3-on-3 tournament. You'll see how fun it is. Music's playing on the side. No matter how much you're screaming, the players won't hear it because the music is playing so loud. Yeah, it's like a party scene. It's just that people playing basketball in between. That's it.
Okay.
So you're having a party, people are drinking on the side, but at the same time.
Okay. It's like street balls in this.
You can play it anywhere. Beach, street, or even inside a mall. So as long as there's enough space to build a half court, you're good to go. Yeah, so much fun.
Okay, Acho, back to your coaching. So then from that, Qatar to teach.
Yeah, so came back and then my first coaching job was to take the women's national team to Nepal for the first Sabah Women's Championship.
Okay.
So that was my first. We went there, got our first win, but couldn't win anything. But at least we got a win from that tournament. Eye opener for us, especially for our girls. Eye opener for me as a coach was on how to handle women athletes.
Okay.
Because I've always been.
What's the dynamic difference?
the
Emotions.
women's, exactly, emotions, and the things they go through is it's completely different with men.
Or can you give us an example? Understand? Is it like a relationships?
No. I mean, their hormones and the cycles and everything.
Okay.
So their mood swings are different. You can never predict it. So I've experienced few players who are happy, a few seconds before, and then suddenly they starts crying, or their mood is completely changed the next hour. So it was a big eye opener because the first few weeks was very tough for me to handle, especially the women team. Couldn't understand them. I would get angry at them. I would shout at them. But then days, staying with them after a few months, after a few weeks only, not a few weeks, after a few days only, I could understand, how what type of emotions they go through, and because of their cycle, sometimes you have to understand, you have to be very caring, you have to listen to them. You have to also make sure that you have your shoulder ready for them to cry on. And, it was a roller coaster ride for me. So it was a very big eye opener and very enlightening.
Okay, so what's easier to handle? A man?
Oh, men, for sure.
Easier.
Men, for sure. Men, for sure.
So props to all the women coaches,
I mean, I read or heard somewhere that... I can't say it properly also now. It's very difficult to read women, no?
Yeah.
Women are very confusing. So you don't need to understand them only. Just let them be them, and then, you be happy with what you are, and then don't try to argue with them.
Best thing, actually, I got a good example was last time, a woman, imagine, okay, she has a chance in her head over here. Clearly apparent, there's a chance here. And she comes and says, no melos. Good no memo. Good no me. I'm having a horrible day because of this headache. And a man will come and say, why don't you just, maybe it's a chance in your head, maybe try taking it out. Who knows? Then maybe you won't get that pain. And then the woman will say, you don't understand, see. You don't always try and look for solution. Why don't you just, try to, understand what I'm going through right now? And then if you go back and say, it must be very difficult right now. And she'll be like, it's very hard. That's women.
So I think for me, what I understood during my coaching time with the women is just don't say anything. Just listen to whatever they have to say. And then, if they need support, give them the support. But don't say anything. Don't say anything. Just listen to them.
How about, let's say, if you want to say good job or like you need to correct them, what do you say?
I'll call them next to me and I'll say, hey, you're doing a very good job. No. Yeah. You sort of positively. I just say, hey, you're doing a very nice job. But imagine if you do this way. So I tell them my way, and then they look, they see my way, and then they say, okay, and that's it. So you always start off by saying you're doing a good job. But what if you do this way or that way? That might help. Okay. So you just can't. I mean, at start, I used to always shout at them. Exactly. How many times do I have to tell you to do this? Blah blah blah.
That didn't work.
Yeah, nah. I had half the team crying. I had half the team crying, coming to my when we went to Nepal.
Nepal matches?
No, because it was the first tournament that our girls, international tournament that our girls had.
Yeah.
So most of them were nervous. Even I was nervous.
Yeah, sure.
I had some of the girls, because they got so nervous. They were, some of them cried, but so you have to, as a coach, you have to also know how to handle such situations. So years of coaching, now I know how to handle emotions, how to handle players also. Some players need the soda.
Okay.
Some players don't need the soda.
Some
They
positive
just need some positive words towards. So you just have to learn how the player is and study the player, and then go on how what you want to coach. So yeah.
Okay. So are you still coaching now?
Yeah. Not now. I'm not coaching anymore at the moment. But if anything comes up, surely will, because I don't think I can ever leave the game of basketball.
Okay, so let's talk about modern basketball, Thimphu or Bhutan, whatever we call it now, whether it be in the male scene, female scene. How do you think it looks right now? And right now you're smiling, so it must not be good. So why is it? Why do you think it is the way it is?
The thing is, like I said that time, our youth not taking the game too seriously now. I mean, I can understand my age players or even older players than me not taking it seriously, because now they just want to play it as
for fun,
cardio and health reasons and stuff like that. But the youth, they have the age, they have the stamina, they have the body. I mean, they're not injured at the moment. All their bones are intact, healthy. So I don't know why they're not taking it too seriously. Okay. Serious as in they play every day. I'm not talking about that type of seriousness.
Practice,
exactly, practice.
Solo practice.
Basketball, if you want to play international tournaments and if you want to win international tournaments, you have to play organized basketball. Our players do not play organized basketball. You tell them to do certain plays and stuff, they will not do. They'll not know how to play, because it's in our history, it's in our DNA that we have never been taught how to play organized basketball.
So it's hard to change.
So suddenly we have a Korean coach come in and then trying to teach us organized basketball. It's not.
But look at what do you mean that? Let's say some players already good for national team more, and then they already have the tools, whether it be conditioning, height to IQ, whatever it may be more. Then you say, "Tup the play, so why can't they do that play? You should.
Because basketball is a team game, no. You need 5 players to play with the same mind. You might have one player who's like extremely high IQ, loves the game of basketball, he's doing everything right. But just because he's doing everything right, you can't expect the other 4 to do the right thing. The other 4's IQ might be less, so they might not follow it. So that's when all the problems happen. Okay. And then I feel like our guys give up very easily. They get angry very easily. They get frustrated very easily.
So let's say like you're down 10 and then 15 minutes left.
Give up.
Give up.
Exactly.
And then comes again.
Yeah. Okay. So even if one player is motivated, the rest 4 are not. So that's when the organized basketball helps. No, organized basketball teaches you how to play together. It teaches you how, when one is not playing well, how the other 4s can fill that one spot. So that's organized basketball. Okay. So our basketball in Bhutan lacks that. So most of the time, I feel organized basketball is missing in Bhutan. You'll always see, if you go watch basketball right now, you'll always see one individual playing really well, scoring 30, 40 points. And then the other players are not doing anything.
Right, tournaments. Yeah.
And then one guy on the bench, he doesn't get to play, and then he doesn't show up the next game saying, why would I come?
Yeah, they show.
Oh. Bench and then maybe there's like a girl watching from the audience, and then he gets embarrassed.
Yeah.
Those are not good basketball players.
And then one kid who the boomta with all the shots.
Exactly. He takes all the shots, whether he makes it or not. And then some shooters, they might be having an off day. They might be 0 for 6. How can you do something different now? Because you're not making your threes. Now, what else can you do? Okay. You're not thinking that way. You miss 0 for 6. You're taking another 6 more. They're not doing anything different to make the game more interesting for the audience to watch. That's why these days, if you go for any tournaments, the A-League is right now is the biggest tournament, like how Coronation Cup was for us. But A-League, even the opening game, even the finals, you hardly get like 10, 15 people at the audience watching the game. There's no one watching the game of basketball anymore, which is very sad to see. Because our time, my God, you won't get a seat to watch. And then people with bottles, those bottle noises. And then there was a team from Imtat who used to play. So it'll be like one side will be screaming Bhutan, and then the other side will be all the Indian community here, and they'll be like India, Jai Hind and stuff like that. So we miss that.
Culture is not there anymore.
So those are the culture that we should try to bring it back.
But Acho, how's the Perth culture that you're there? I thought the Perth culture, at least I thought the Parodoros A, Parodoros B, Parodoros C, Yalama, they themselves, these Doros are like four teams there, my God. So it looks like I've obviously bombed home there. Like I don't see it because I'm not there, but TV, Facebook, the past told me, so how's the culture down there, Perth?
I think all the basketball players from Bhutan has come to Perth.
I love it. E-League is gone down there. No?
So you hardly get any teams here, and then we have like minimum 25 teams every tournament.
But God damn.
Yeah. And then it's a mixture. We have kids who are teams who are like 14, 15 year olds. Like my nephew or my Acho's kids, they're like 15, 16, 17.
Okay.
So they're playing the tournament.
Nice.
And even people who are older than us also, they're playing the tournament.
Okay.
And then we have obviously the young guys in between who are playing real well, like Doros A and B. And I think now they're one team, but before it was A and B. The reason why they're A and B is because there's a rule in Perth saying every team can only allow 2 A-League players. And then Parv Doros had all A-League players. So that's why they made they made it into 2 teams.
What's the problem with putting A-League players there? Because
I think they wanted to make it more competitive and then some young teams or some older teams don't play when they hear that the those type of strong teams are playing Slabda. Not many teams show up. So that's why they made this rule, and then you have a lot of teams coming.
But then competitively also, you should have the best of the best.
That's what we said. My objection during team meetings there was, let them. Every team should just play as whatever team they want to be as. But then I think 90% of the people there wanted this rule. Where they can only allow 2 A-League players. But then the scene in Perth is very nice. We only play on the weekends, Saturday, Sunday, and it goes on for like 2-3 months.
Oh, nice. Like a league.
Yeah. And we have referees, Australian referees sometimes. And we have, we call referees from our community itself also. And the Wasu courts, they are very good, so it's fun to play. 25, 26 teams, long tournament. That's what you want. All the families come with their kids, wives,
much better community than Name.
Agés and Angés, they bring their whole community, because when we play on the weekend, we also have what the organizers, what they do is they make a deal with the local Bhutanese restaurants there. And they give the organizers a certain money, I guess, and then they get to sell their products during the weekends. So you have when you're playing basketball, you feel like you're in Bhutan because you can smell the momos and chili chops and piazi and all batus on the side.
Oh, damn nice!
So nice. It's like a big Bhutanese celebration when on the weekends every time there's a tournament happening. So I think basketball scene there is becoming very interesting, and scene here is becoming very sad.
Very dry, very dead.
Very sad.
But what can we do when our national stadium is a beaten down swimming pool gymnasium?
Hopefully that'll get fixed.
That's my dream, at least. National stadium cheap.
Yeah, I mean, at one point I heard, I'm not too sure whether it's true or not, but I heard that there's a badminton center in Bebina.
Yeah.
Right next to the aquatic thing. That was supposed to be the Basketball Federation's court. But then when we actually went there, the court was small. I think they didn't measure it properly. So then we couldn't shift there, and they gave it to badminton. That's what I heard, though. I'm not too sure, so don't quote me on this, please.
Okay, actually, how about football? Football community must probably big in Perth also.
No, football is very big in...
Is it bigger than Nagi scene?
I think so. I think so. They have football... No, you see, basketball will only happen maybe twice a year. Okay. So it'll happen once summer starts, they'll have one summer league, and then once winter starts, so they'll have a winter league. But football... Every single every single month there's a tournament. So the tournament happens, they finish one tournament, and then right next week they'll have a veterans tournament. When the veterans tournament finish, again they'll have this like an inter-community tournament where Bhutan as a team will play against Singapore. All the community people there are there's Vietnam, Thailand, all those. Yes. So those are the tournaments that happens. Then again after that finishes, they come back to their own first tournament again. So football happens every month.
Let's say Perth, Bhutanese United, Brisbane, Bhutanese United, and then they play in international, national.
We started 2-3 years ago. I'm not too sure. 2-3 years ago, what we started, we started a Gyelmo Cup, which was an interstate tournament. So we'll have basketball, football, archery, and stuff.
Like Olympics.
So when we hosted the first tournament of Gyelmo for basketball, we had teams from Brisbane, we had teams from Canberra, then we had teams from Sydney come to Perth to play the tournament. And then before last year, 2003 November now, Canberra hosted the second Gyelmo Cup, and we went from Perth, 2 teams, PODHEADS and us, my team, we went to Canberra to play that tournament. PODHEADS won that second Gyelmo Cup.
How's the prize money, Pa?
It was not about the prize money. Prize money is, I mean, as the private tournaments, they will have like, I can't say it surely, but 2,000-3,000 as the prize money. But prize money is never the main concern there. It's all about getting to play. Because as you know, in Australia, people are working every single day. So sometimes, on the weekends when they get to play,
they look forward to to come together.
They can meet their friends there. They can take their families out, eat.
And especially 2,000, I think, because if you're working there, you get that on a weekly basis.
Otherwise, you're working all the time. All the time. In Australia, people are working all the time. So, it's...
all the time of the day.
I have a friend who...
How many hours a week?
I have a friend who does 3 jobs.
How many hours a week you think?
So he wakes up, I think around 4:30 side, and gets ready, and then he starts from home at 5:15 side. He start job at 6, and he goes till 2. From 2 he goes home, or he just stays in his car, sleeps for 1 hour. Then he goes for his next job at 3. Works till 10, 11. Then goes home, eats his dinner, and then from 12 till 2, 3 he goes for some cleaning job. Then he comes home and sleeps for like 2-3 hours, and then back to the same routine.
But how is he functioning there?
Yeah, at the moment he's good.
I
can't say, man. I can't say how many years, but
because I was living in Japan, I had a few friends who work like that, and they all burnt out. No one lasted that style.
The thing is, when you're working towards a goal, I don't think you'll care much about. I mean, you'll surely get burned out, but then I think there's an inner energy in you which tells you, gives you that extra boost. Saying,
no, of course, it's like impossible to me, but the probability of him getting burnt out is very high.
Sure. So they at least make sure that they rest one day. At least.
Didn't do it because people usually.
And they don't go for 7 days.
They do 7 days, no.
But still, man, if you're working that much, even 2 days is not enough to recover.
No, actually, his body kind of is different. I also had a 6-day work schedule when I was living in Japan. At one point, not all the time, usually 4 a day. Then I used to look forward to Sundays in Bali. The Sundays, Saturday, chilling lumchin, so happy. Then Sunday, shoot lumchin again. So the depression kicks in because you know what Monday means.
But in Perth, you also have people like me who only work one job.
Okay.
And then also, because for me, I feel like life is short.
Yeah. You can't.
So you just can't be working all the time. And for me, I always make sure that I have my time for myself and also time for work. So I always make sure there's a balance between work and.
So how many hours were you working in a week?
8 hours.
No, in a day, but how many in a week?
Oh, so
18 is the limit.
So 40 hours. No. For once you cross, if you're in the student visa and if you're the primary applicant, then you only get like 24 hours. I mean, my time was only 20 hours. Recently, it got increased to 24. And then once you finish student, or if you're a dependent, then you can work as much as you can.
So
40 hours when you finish all the they cut the half an hour break time. You don't get paid for your break.
Yeah.
So that's the joy of working in Bhutan, because 1 hour you get the paid.
When I was working in Japan, I'll work 8 hour shift, but 1 hour is unpaid lunch break.
So in Australia it's half an hour.
At least half an hour.
So half an hour you don't get paid for, unless you don't show up for the other half an hour also, then they cut 1 hour for sure. But half an hour is never enough. By the time you heat your food, you sit on the table and you take the first bite, half an hour, 20 minutes, 25 minutes is done. And then, so
actually you work like that. How are you able to sustain your fees and then all the other stuff and save and all that?
You really have to save. You really have to save. You can't do much of the things that you can't buy the things that you want to buy.
Oh.
You really have to save, and then you have, you do those other chum on the side, like Uber Eats. You deliver food, and then you can also Uber drive. You can drive.
But Australia, Bhutan, the coach
No, so I was had my own family business, so I was working with was down in Thinley. And coaching was always, I never got paid for my coaching.
So more of a passion project.
Only time I got paid was if I was coaching our national team to go overseas. So that's the time when they give you a training allowance. And then they pay for your flight and everything, and then they give you your DSA, that's it. But other than that, I was not on a full-time salary. I was a volunteer. I just did it out of passion, pure love for basketball, and nothing else.
Okay, so now since we have the mass exodus and Acho went during that period of time, what was your reasoning to go? So let's say people who maybe want to go already there or already considering going. So we just for your context, Acho ki Churegi own reason, without touching too much on personal life, if you want to, you went. And now that you're saying that you got PR also, so which means, do you think it's a good decision that you went? Not whatever.
No, it's always good to have a second option in case whatever you're doing doesn't work out here. It's always nice to have a second option. But I just went with no pressure, with no. Some people go there because of the financial reasons. Some people go there purely to get a degree. Some people go there because they see people posting, how
I'm in the
fancy,
white land, driving a Prado,
luxurious the life in Australia is.
Going to King's Park to have balloons in the parking lot or some shit like that.
But like any other country, Australia also has its own bright side and also its dark side. A bright side is the money is good.
Lifestyle, obviously, the
lifestyle is good.
Yeah, services.
You get whatever you want. You can buy anything you want.
Yeah.
You have the ability, because you're working, you have the ability to buy anything you want. Also, you can, if you come from you can help your family here.
Okay. Yeah.
So that way, Australia is good.
Okay.
But the other side is you're working
all the time.
All the time.
Okay.
So there's zero social life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
generally
not saying all the people.
Generally speaking.
Yeah, generally, because I know people who know how to balance work and thing also. Okay. But some people, they just love working, I guess.
Yeah.
So for me, I feel that's the dark side. But for people who love to work, that might not be the dark side. So that's for me, at least. That is you're working all the time. There's no social life. Family life is also zero. Because like I said, you're working all the time. Kids, you miss all those highlight moments with your kids. Because as you know, most of the parents they have their kids here in Bhutan, then the parents are there. So you miss out all on those birthdays, the birthdays, the first steps, and the first concert, the first whatever. So you miss all those golden moments with your kids. So I feel that's also a dark side of Australia. And then you miss out on all your family events also. So I missed out a lot on my family events. So that was the dark side for me. So all those I feel.
What about the community? There's often myth or misconception that pa dup to sugara pa to jude or turiam chitau me on lin de me dup getting the jogomano. People who say that, what do you say to that?
Like I said, the same thing about the dark side and the good. I think all people have their own good side and bad side. Some people might see the bad side of certain people, and then for me, that same person might show his good side to me. So it depends on people, I guess. There's always going to be bad people, good people everywhere you go. Not just in Bhutanese community. Everywhere you go, there's going to be a good set of people and some really mean set of people. So I think it's in every community, not just Bhutanese. So I meet good people. I meet some bad ones too. So I have no complaints. I'm either working or I'm just staying at home almost all the time in Australia. So I don't meet many people.
How about if someone is let's say has a very active social life and now is planning to go to Australia? You think they'll have hard time adjusting because they have to sacrifice that? Otherwise, you got a lot of money to even party on the weekends and work on the Monday to Friday. Unless you can do both, which I doubt.
I mean, Australia it's very expensive now. When I first went there, it was not that expensive. I mean, it was expensive, but not that expensive. But now it's very expensive. So if I give you an example, when I first went to Australia, you could get a 3-bedroom apartment for like $300 a week. Now you can't even get 1-bedroom apartment for it'll be like 500 minimum.
Oh shit.
And then 3-bedroom apartments go for like 700, 800.
Why? Because of the population demand.
Yeah, because now Australia is facing a housing crisis because of the number of international students coming in. That's what they say. So that's why housing prices has
skyrocketed.
Oh, so imagine from 300 3-bedroom to 500 1-bedroom. Now for 4 bedrooms you have to pay 1,000 plus a week. So that's where almost all your money goes to. So if you earn 1,000 a week and then you're paying 600 for your house rent, and then another, I'm pretty sure people, the first thing they do there is when they reach there, they buy a new phone on plan, and then their SIM card. So that comes up to $100 minimum. So you have 600 as your rent plus $100 for your mobile, and then your maku, gari maku, and then your groceries and all the thing. You're saving like 200, 100. So very difficult. Unless you're staying with 5 different families in one home, which
sacrifice your privacy the more.
Yeah, which a lot of Bhutanese are staying. But that sacrifices your privacy and your family life. So if you are a newly married couple, then it will be very difficult.
Okay, Acho, since you've already been there for say you said 4 years, actually 5, but Yama baby. Someone who's considering to go there, what is your top 5 advice you'd give? Let's say at least Phajo keep this in mind.
Yeah, the first thing, make sure that you have someone or somewhere you can stay at.
I mean,
that I think is very important to have, or to know someone who has a place there where you can stay when you reach there. Because I've heard stories where right after COVID, when borders opened, we had a lot of Bhutanese coming in
with no ideal plan.
And they landed up staying in hotels. And all their money that they brought would finish in like a week because hotels are expensive. And I even heard that a couple, they didn't have anywhere to go, so they even slept at the railway station the bench. So I'm not sure whether it's true or not, but that's what I heard.
Okay.
So always make sure if you come to Australia, you have a house to stay at.
Okay, good.
So that's the first thing.
Tip 1, okay. What else you got?
And then don't go into that buying a new phone as soon as you get there.
Because locked up for debt.
Yeah, so you're locked up for at least 3 years, paying $100 a month every month.
So what would you recommend?
No, whatever you have, you take there. Because, as long as you can operate your Instagram and thing, your phone is good enough.
Yeah, but actually it's not the same if you go to Perth and not have an iPhone, but
no, but you can have that after you set.
iPhone go otherwise CID you remember?
No, but you can have that.
They'll reject your visa. Where's your iPhones?
Did you buy a new phone?
iPhone color 16 Pro Max member out, no job. Okay, go on.
No, but you can. I'm saying you can buy a new phone once you're settled, once you have a good job, and once you have fixed income flowing in all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
But as soon as you land there, you try first get a house to stay at, and then look for a job.
Okay, got it. How long does it take to get a job? Is it difficult?
Now is well, it depends on your luck. Or sometimes some people get instantly. Some people. I mean, I went during COVID time, so I was stuck with no job for 6 months.
Whoa.
So all my classes were online. So I was basically stuck.
You could have
my
just
room.
gone 6 months later to Australia. More.
Yeah, but as soon as I got there, 1 week after lockdown happened.
Damn.
So it was like a ghost town.
Bad luck, man.
But it's not as bad as anywhere else, because in Perth, the good thing about Perth is the governor, I think they shut down the whole WA border, Western Australia border. And not many cases, and then we could at least go outside our houses, do shoppings and everything.
Yeah,
There
but
was
at
no
least like
strict-
job hunting is difficult.
Yeah, the only thing we had to do was
Masking,
marks. That was it. But job hunting was a bit difficult. Yeah,
Okay.
that was the only problem. So 6 months on the 6th month, I got my first job.
Damn. What was it?
I worked for a supermarket.
Janitor or
No, no.
food supply?
I was in the fruit and veg department.
Restock, yeah. Apparently you have to check.
No, so right now, if you ask me about veggies, I didn't know anything about veggies before.
But now, good knowledge.
Now I have good knowledge over it, the names for it and different names for it. Because Hemabiwachi, like for example, for us, Tselu, what do you call Tselu in English? Orange.
Orange, Mandarin.
Well, but there's different type of oranges. There's orange, navel, Mandarin, all those sorts of different names for it. So for us, when I first went the interview, do you know anything about fruit and veg? And I proudly said yes. And then they showed me different type of vegetable. And then for me, it was hense was only hense spinach. But there was so many type of spinaches, So, those are the types of things. But now, quite aware of it. You know how to cut the copies, how to display it. I can make a nice pyramid out of it.
Oh, from the beginning.
So those are the little skills. Now, if I go to Sochi Bazaar and I have to work there, I think I can.
Okay. Acho, let's say back to Australia with 100,000, let's say 500,000 AUD more to live in Australia with that much amount starting capital, or live in Bhutan for 1 million AUD, half, let's say 250,000 AUD more, like amount to settle here in Thimphu. Which one do you pick?
Settle here, man.
Settle here, yeah. So why are you going back then?
No second thought. I'm not going back instantly. Like I said, it's always good to have a second option. So Perth is always will be my second option.
Yeah, okay.
But home is always first option. For me, home. I mean, the peace of mind that you get when you're home.
Yeah.
I don't think any dollars or any amount of money can.
It feels like a weight off your shoulders.
And for me, peace of mind matters most than having money in my bank balance. In my bank, thing.
Yeah. But I think some people, they'll like,
so it
I'll
depends
think
on
about money for 5 years, then I'll come back in happy peace of mind.
I know a lot of people who have that same mindset. But I guess to each people their own. So if they can work their butt off for 5 years and come back and live a very happy life, good for them. Hopefully, and I pray that nothing bad happens to them in that 5 years.
Yeah. Sometimes you hear
because you can never predict your future. So for me, I like to live by the day. So as long as I have a peace of mind, I'm happy.
Right now, when you go back, peace of mind in Midway.
Nah. Because as soon as I always tell my friend, as soon as you land in Perth and you step out of your airplane, your bill starts coming in. The first, because as soon as you reach Perth, I put in my SIM card, and the first message is your bill is pending. So you're bombarded with bills as soon as you land to Perth.
For sure.
So house bills, water bill, electricity bill, and then you realize how comfortable you live in the town.
I need so much.
How much you have to thank your, the royal family, His Majesty, and all the government officials, and of how we are living our life here in Bhutan. When I tell this life and how we run, how things are run in Bhutan, how education is free, how medical is free, people get shocked. People get really shocked. And when HM visited Perth, people, the Australian community was shocked, saying that, why would you guys get so excited for someone just coming to Perth? And that's, how when they and realize that he's not just a person for us, he's like a god to us. So, those type of things. So Australia now knows a lot about Bhutan than before. I think HM's visit really made. And that whole
really
area.
put into things perspective. How many are down there, miss? Like we hear, 20,000, 30,000. Stadium,
And then I heard like almost 10-20% didn't show up also because they couldn't get leave from their work. That's so how many Bhutanese are there in Perth?
So does that show Bhutanese resiliency, or just shows also how bad our economy is?
I don't think our economy is that bad. I mean, it's bad. I mean, it's bad.
I think it's really bad. I don't think it's just bad. I think it's really bad.
But I think if our people knows how to work their butt off for 5 years there and then bring in the money from there and then do something here, they can. That's how you can help your country.
I think we need to provide good services to export Messi.
I mean,
the Jindas who go to Australia come here, they open a tsonka where they pick Chinese products and sell it back to the Bhutanese again. So how can we continue economy? We do that.
No, but that's not just Bhutan's problem. I think all the economies all over has the same problem.
When we have only 7 lakh people here, then chance minimum.
Oh, but then I don't think with all the flaws also, I think Bhutan, I don't think any other countries can come even close to Bhutan, man.
No, of course, that's also a factor.
It's all about your mental peace. Like I said earlier, we have so many people talking about mental issues, mental this, mental that, mental this. Come to Bhutan, stay here. You won't have any mental problems.
They have to worry about other shit which they have, like visa or maybe they
none about that, but mental peace there. For someone who stayed in Australia for 5 years and then coming to Bhutan, you know the impact and the importance of having a sound mental thing help. And then it's nowhere like home, man.
Of course.
Bhutan, peace over any money or anything.
Sure. But I think you and I both, as we can say that because we're here. No, because in Japan, I chose peace. I had opportunity to earn, 5x about what I'm earning right now. But then I was like, Shada Bhutan 20,000 salary gitu. Bhutan
exactly. That's exactly what I told us. I don't care about how much salary I get. I think at the moment for me, just being home. Being able to go and eat my mom's food every single time I want, I think that's mental peace for me.
Me also. Sure. Like the little things, like when I was in Japan working 6 days, sometimes 4 days a week. Sunday I look forward to drinking beer and drink laundry, and Wi-Fi and Netflix. It's the simple things, and which I used to get here every day, which I used to look forward to.
If you can stay in Bhutan, stay in Bhutan. Don't go to Australia, man.
Okay, says Acho. But if you have no money,
that's my advice.
Try again next life.
I mean, money. This is one thing my Acho told me. If you really work hard, and if you are doing something that you love, and if you really put all your dedication, hard work into it, you can earn money whether you're here, there, wherever.
But it's easier.
But even if you go to Australia or you go to US or you go wherever, and if you're not working hard, you'll not earn money even if there's money there. The same thing here. If you're not working here, you just can't complain saying that Bhutan or you can't do anything here. You do something first. If you can't do it, then you complain.
If
you're not doing anything first, and then you're just complaining saying that doesn't work that way. If you don't work,
More bills.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But Paludi mental peace me with.
Okay, I guarantee you one day.
I guarantee. So now do it. This watching.
That's the safeguard. Okay, actually, last question before we wrap up this pod. What do you think we need to change? At least you being from the sporting background, more specifically basketball. Okay, because I also grew up playing with all my friends here, and then like I was saying, the culture and spirit is gone. So what do you think needs to improve?
Players' mentality,
from
coaches'
all, yeah.
mentality. I think everyone's mentality has to change. Football. Why do you think football is growing so much?
The money is there.
Yeah, money is there, but at the same time, they're bringing in experts from outside. They're training our national players. They're giving them salaries. They're keeping them here in Bhutan.
That's what I'm saying.
If you can do that, if you have the dedication and if you have the right leadership and the right vision, I think anything is possible. Football is doing really well. How football was before our time.
Now we can Honda
now,
playing
exactly.
here. What the hell more?
It has grown so much. Now imagine when did football started developing? When they started having
AstroTurf.
Exactly.
Honestly, so you guys don't understand. We grew up playing in Theogi field with rocks, ball straight, joramejo, tok 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 tok.
And then you always have bruises on your legs and
so it's Ningtob for us when we have pitch. People used to say, I hope one day I can play in the grass. And even I should dream when we were kids. So football has developed a lot.
So
basketball, the swimming pool, rusty court is still there. It's been like 34 years over there.
He's more angry than I am. But anyways, like I was saying, football started developing when they got the turf. When they got the national stadium, when they got that pitch where they can host international tournaments. They can bring in players, they can have international tournaments, they can have national big tournaments. Then they can, that's when the sponsorship, big sponsors came in, BOB, Duke, whatever. Now imagine basketball having an international size stadium to host international tournaments, to bring in players, to have friendly games, friendly matches between countries. Popularity of basketball will skyrocket.
But then maybe our federations are not seeing the money in it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is, it can't always be about money. Sometimes it has to be for the development.
But I think because there is no money, there's no development.
That's true also. But then without good leadership also, you can't expect money to come in also there. So now finally we had a good leader, but unfortunately he passed away a few days ago. So that's been a big loss for us. But hopefully again, the federation will have good leaders coming in, and the right vision and the right path the federation will follow.
All I say is federation. If anyone's watching, I see national stadium improve. That's the bare minimum. Just make the stand to the other side of swimming pool and make it bigger. So there's at least 2 places to watch, and cut out all the leaky roof so there's no rain during tournaments. I'm thinking of starting more.
But then we played through all those flaws. No complaints. We played through all those flaws, and it just shows the love for.
And at least me growing up, I thought that basketball, talent pool in Bhutan was better than footballers. But footballers had a much better avenue, platform to get better now.
At one point, basketball was far more famous and popular than football. Basketball coaching is like winter coaching for schools or summer coaching. So we used to have 100 students joining in from all over. But now it's very sad to see that now you ask every single kid which sports they like, they'll straight away say football. Because football has grown so much. Their leadership is so good. Their vision is so good. They have employees who are very hardworking. So, as long as you have all those good foundation, the building will be stronger. So the foundation has to be really.
So do you see our at least basketball community in Bhutan improving in the next 5-10 years?
It improved a lot. We won a freaking gold medal, man.
Yeah, of course. That is there.
That I'm saying, is a big achievement.
Do you see the improvements needed in this 5 to 10 years?
My only problem was we could not capitalize on that win. Football, see how much football capitalized when they won from Sri Lanka. That one game they won from Sri Lanka overcame all the losses they had. And then Sri Lanka, when they came to Bhutan and when we won, when Chettri Gelson scored that second goal and then we won, how much crazy people went for that team. So, people forgot about all the losses they had. And then one win, they became the most popular people, a group of boys in Bhutan, Dragon Boys. So basketball also, we won freaking gold medal.
Yes.
We came back. That's a big achievement. Big achievement. We've never been to the finals. Forget finals. We've not even been to the semi-finals before. So reaching the finals and winning it in other foreign soil was a big achievement. You have no idea how much I shouted and was excited when I was at work and I saw them winning. But the only sad part about it is we could not capitalize on that win. If we knew how to capitalize on that win, we could have got big sponsors within the country, and then did something with the court, and then further improved on the team. Kept that same team, keep practicing, pay them a small amount of money. It doesn't have to be big. Maybe 10,000 would be a good starting amount. And then keep the coaches, keep the players, train them. It doesn't have to be training every single day. It can be like twice a week when there's no tournaments happening, just twice a week. Keep them in shape. We couldn't do that. And now players are all over. Some are going to Australia. So, that was the sad part. I really wished they kept the same team and capitalize on it.
Yeah, much.
So that was the only.
But who knows? Josh might come back in 1-2 years.
Hopefully.
Josh. But the Josh is on Perth. So basketball, if you want peace of mind, stay in Bhutan. But if you want to play basketball, go to Perth. And also
but then it's just me talking. So don't listen to me and do whatever you feel like doing at the end.
Okay. Acho, I think we're running past a little bit over, so we'll end the pod with that. But before that, Acho, what is your favorite Lay's packet color?
Blue.
Finally.
Indian masala.
It's always blues.
Always blue.
Nice. So, Acho,
started off with yellow, but then blue overtook it.
Yeah, blue is popular. Tobaga Perth now. Rajnigandha sells like hotcakes.
They sell it.
Rajnigandha and Baba. So Perth na Jong and Rajnigandha the Baba give song Pando Shebanga Chip Thinley now on the building.
They do sell Lays, but it's $3 a packet.
What about the magic masalas and all? They sell that also?
Yeah, $3 a packet.
$3, yeah.
So how much is that? 3 into 55?
355 is 6. In the math, 35 is 15. So 150.
160. Yeah, 160.
160
for one packet.
I
think here it's like
25.
Yeah.
How about Rajnigandha? How much does it cost?
I don't know because I don't eat Rajnigandha. So.
Baba also?
Nah.
What's the most popular, Baba or Rajnigandha?
Rajnigandha
more. Chaat masala gawina. At the end of the day, we love to be Indians more than we love to be Bhutanese.
Doma, if you can sell Doma in Perth, you don't have to work on it, you'll get chup with that one.
The Doma leaf gadus import bhome.
Oh, the jagas ki any tombim na.
And then they
make they buy it from the jagas and they make it into Bhutanese style and then sell it. Jagas ki any pan.
You can take
what do you call that? Mitha pan.
You can take the villager out of the village, but you cannot take
Doma, no man. A lot of sports facilities in Perth now don't give basketball courts to Bhutanese. The first thing they say is, "What do you guys eat? What's that red spit that you guys?"
Australia Jumas diet and Labo da hemad namo do na Jomotushin and he bejadi pa chilip gigam na Bemada, please, at least on my side.
That's him saying, not me.
That's me saying, to Bemada. Gaunlig in nature the Dumina chicken held that Garakoja Naja, Pa have the joy inkil hub more Beja this at the on there too.
Do you eat Doma?
No, I don't. But even if I wouldn't spit on the damn wall in Perth.
No, they don't spit on the wall, but the worst place they spit on is the toilet pots. So that's the owners complain about it. Because I hosted a tournament in Perth. And then the only complaint I got was, please tell your people not to spit the red thing on the toilet pots.
What do they think?
I have so many chilips saying, why do you guys eat that horrible smell?
What does Doma have? Does it have nicotine or something?
They have lime. That thing is lime, no?
Yeah, but what does it give?
I have no idea. I've never eaten Doma.
Doma
is a big no-no.
Winter I ate because they said it keeps you warm. It's true. But it gives you a little bit of a kick, say. I'm not sure whether that's like alcohol or like nicotine.
Don't eat Doma, please.
Okay, that's that. Okay, Acho, final words before you go back. Usually, at the end, we offer our guests a plug to say, like, follow me here, check out this here. But if not, maybe we can say some final parting words. So please look into the camera.
My final parting words is, I might have said a lot of things, especially about Australia. But like I said, don't listen to me. You do your own thing. Whatever I shared is on my own experience. And it doesn't have to apply. Shouldn't apply, or you shouldn't follow it. So it was just my 2 cents.
Okay.
And with regard to sports, I just wish the youth would be more respectful and dedicated towards the sports.
Okay.
When I say that, I mean not love towards the game. A lot of youth plays basketball, and it's very nice to see. But just being disciplined, just being disciplined during practice. Okay. Work on your craft, work on your foundation. Left hand layup. I don't think many of you guys know how to do a left hand layup. See, it's all about the right. Even if you go left side, you shoot with your right, which is basic basketball. Left side, left, right side, right. So work on your craft. And I hope together we can improve, basketball and make it the most popular sports in Bhutan again.
Okay, hope so, Acho. Yeah. So, enough Steph Curry 3-pointer highlights, more Steph Curry workout videos. More Kobe stories rather than Kobe highlights.
Mamba mentality, not Kobe stories, but Mamba mentality.
Yeah, go there 3 hours before everybody comes. And
it doesn't have to be 3 hours also, but just whenever you come, just make sure you're disciplined. Very important, whatever you do. And support Arsenal tonight.
Yeah, let's go. All right, Acho, thank you so much
for
coming
you so
in.
Much.
Hopefully you ballers out here who are watching enjoyed. And those who didn't, maybe you go learn something new. Who knows? And then if you guys are usually watching because the Boom Jarim China Lola or some favorite singer get Chettri.
You have 2 ugly guys today.
Sorry, let's see how the views do, okay? But nonetheless, if you have watched until now, please consider subscribing. And if you watch this episode because of this face, please consider subscribing because of this face. And other than that, if you meet Acho in Perth, say hi to them. Who knows? Acho, mental health. Who knows? I don't know. Okay, so hope your mental health is good. And yeah, all right. Till the next episode, Acho, you want to help me read out the members list in the end? I always give them a shout out. So yeah, just name all his names as you can. Okay, starting from here. All right, thank you, our podheads. Acho, start.
All right, Deki, tttt, KP here only for PSY-POD, Lhazzzy, NoPay, Thinley, Wangdi, Nola, Pema, Chuzek, drakpaaa, RINXIN, Ponde 69, Deki, Taga, 18 Jan, Chuksss, Phuntsho, Wangchen, Gyelmo, Yume, MrMeow, Lhakee, Ugentek, Arsenal,
UCLS,
US, whatever, NW, Leo, T13K, Jimmy Samdrup, Dikilhazum, Tring Palmo, S Palmo, Nimatops, Chameng Shape, Petso, Zambia, Chimi, D Tenzi, Chimi, Gintaka, KC Izmi, Kezang Wangmo, Tashila Pems, Kezadim, The I Want Problem Guy, Genin Hub, Pema Pao, Tsogi, Chance Peke, Pike or Peke, Madness, Ultron Bhutan, Sonam Nam, Ocean Tashidoji.
Lasso, thank you.
Oh, that was a long list.
All right. Okay, once more, thanks for coming.
Thank you so much. For the whole team, thank you so much.
All right. And to the next episode, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.